Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inspiration in a Box. We are so happy you're here. I'd like to introduce our crew here. What's up, crew? How you guys doing?
Woo! Morning, buddy.
Hey, everybody.
Morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful José Gutiérrez. Jose, our producer. How you doing, man?
Hey, good to be here.
Yeah? How's the weather in Germany?
It's getting sunnier and warmer, hopefully.
Nice. I'm sure it's beer 30 by now there, or after this
yes.
presentation it is.
Indeed.
Excellent.
I'm always jealous of him.
Yeah,
always
Sean
jealous.
Brown, you're quite the beer lover.
Maybe.
And ladies and gentlemen, of course, my co-presenter, Sean Brown. Round of applause. Woo!
Good
How you
morning,
doing, man?
good afternoon, and good night. How's everybody?
Yeah, you feeling good?
Feeling good, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm
did
actually
you
really excited because it's March.
Yeah, it is
Right.
March. It's awesome. How is the weather there?
Oh, I forgot. That's right.
Yeah, I'm in the
You're in-
cold. It's like 45 outside, which is actually a warm day here in Leamington, Ontario. So tell me some Florida stuff so I can dream here.
Oh, it is. It's going to be a little cool today. About
All
a
right.
high of 77. Light breeze. I'll go outside and get some vitamin D, and you won't, Lee. You will
Nice.
not.
Actually, it is quite sunny outside. After this, I'd like to do a victory lap anyway. So, well, we are excited. If you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get rolling here.
Great.
I'm
Let's go.
gonna fade it to our rules page here. So you guys remember the rules, super simple. And again, just like the Pirates codes, merely guidelines.
Arg.
Would love for you to keep positive and open-minded while you're thinking about this stuff and while you're chatting along. Of course, share the air in the chat. We want to hear from you. If we don't know you, we just met you, make sure you let us know who you are, where you're coming in from. And we're going to go to Jose throughout the broadcast and check in on the chat. Of course, be respectful to each other. That's a given. We all know that. And we want you to build in yes and. Specifically, if you've seen some of this stuff that we're presenting before, or if you've seen it before, or if you've had an experience with it, we want you to build. We want you to yes and. We want you to add your texture to it. And definitely pay it forward. We're going to give you a link for our link tree after this with all of the links from what we present today. We want you to pay that forward to your colleagues, your office, all of your friends, anybody that you think would be inspired. And please send it on. And of course, we want you to have a little fun. And I think that's it. Oh, no, we want to talk about tech difficulties. You want to talk about that, Sean?
Well, we kind of don't want to, but yes, just be prepared, right? They do happen. And just hang in there with us if the sound starts to go. Of course, I'm not flying today, so I should not be causing any delays, right?
Right.
February or January.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Exactly. Hang in
Excellent.
with us.
Excellent. So let's just say hi to some folks. Jose, who do we have in the audience already?
Yeah, we have Nancy Deborah. Hi, everyone. We have also D-Boy Mark around.
Mark, what's up, dude? Good to see you.
As well with Wayne.
Wayne is here, and I see Brad's here too from beautiful Celebration, Florida. Brad, thanks for being here. And Polly Program's in the house. Excellent. How you doing, Polly Program? Polly is coming to us from Atlanta, GA. So thank you for being here, Paul. We appreciate it. So why don't we should just get started. What do you think, Sean? You ready to get rolling?
Get started, buddy. Yep, let's go.
Okay, well, appropriately speaking, you were talking about going to bars, or maybe I was just speculating that in my head. Oh, no, wait, we were talking about beer. Sorry, whoopsie. This is a fun one. You know, I love bourbon. I love scotch. It's like my favorite thing. Mark, who is in the audience, has definitely turned me on to a bunch of different scotches. You go over to Mark's house, and you get a flight of scotch that he picked out personally from Scotland. And one of the things that scotch, Irish whiskey, and bourbon, those companies struggle with being innovative, right, Sean? Because there's so much tradition that they're steeped in. You know, it's hard to really create innovation. And I was talking to Sean earlier, you guys, and I was talking about how Fireball was an innovation in the bourbon and whiskey industry, right? As silly as it sounds, that really kind of switched it up, putting flavor in whiskey. So this one is, I love your headline, Sean. This is great. I got so canned last night. This is actually, Irish whiskey fans will be able to enjoy their favorite spirit on the go with a new palm-sized dram in a can. from Two Stacks Irish Whiskey. It'll be available in the U.S. in March. 86 proof can of whiskey is described as complex blend of light and dark grain, pot still whiskey, and peated malt. So they spent a lot of time in lockdown developing Dram in a can,
Right.
and they want to offer access to premium whiskey in a smaller quantities. And it looks kind of obscure. Wouldn't really know it's whiskey, right?
Right.
Interesting. What caught your eye about this, Sean? Actually, this is from Barry. Barry, thanks very much for sending this. This is great.
Yes.
Barry, also a big whiskey fan too.
It's portability, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a few months ago, right? We did have that one Tennessee whiskey company that was putting the wooden spirals into the bottles.
Yeah.
Right. We were talking about differentiation and how do you do this? Now, granted, when I hear Dram, I also think, well, if you need to sleep on a plane and you don't want to take Dramamine, there you go.
Yeah, just your one little can. Actually, perfect for planes.
That's right.
Really perfect. Awesome. All right, next up, we will just move right along. Let's go to Jose. Jose, any interesting stuff in the chat happening there? Looks like there's a lot of things going on. Oh, we got Cindy's here too. Welcome, Cindy and Laura. Good to see you all.
Yeah, we have Mark saying "Dram it." Also, Tsunami Ishinobi says, "Interesting. Typically, whiskey, Scotch, bourbon is stored in glass or plastic for the cheap ones. Wonder if the aluminum affects the flavor."
Oh, interesting.
I also wonder that.
Yeah, I wonder if they had to do like a special formula to make sure it didn't have that aluminum taste.
Yeah,
Excellent.
That would be
And
bad.
what's up, John? Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, let's be honest, too. Maybe they just plan on people are not going to keep it around that long for the can.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Good day tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, Sean. So I also, when you posted this, I was really excited because number one, Guitar Hero was one of my favorite video games ever. Right, love that game, and I actually transferred it to Rock Band. I had Rock Band, but then I had the Guitar Hero where you actually plug the guitar into the Xbox, and that's how I basically learned how to play Dark Side of the Moon and. What else did I learn? Oh, I learned a couple Weezer songs. Weezer songs are easy, so that's how I learned to play the bass, bro. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so and Margaritaville uses like 3 chords, so you can do that one too.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
I have wanted to play guitar for a long time, and I literally have probably started and stopped about 6 different times. And I thought, hey, great, pandemic. I'm going to learn to play officially. And no, I didn't. But I thought this was interesting. Again, so many companies impacted, right, by the pandemic.
Yeah.
And when I saw the story about Fender Guitar, totally iconic brand, right, in the music industry and
Definitely.
guitar, and well, they just got slammed with the pandemic. 90% of their stores worldwide had to close down. All of their employees took 50% pay cuts. Roughly 2,000 employees.
Wow.
But here's what's interesting, right? Timing is everything. So they had created I actually did try their digital platform to learn to play guitar. It's the best one that I've tried to use. But about 2017, they created this online platform called Fender Play. And it was fine, it was doing okay. But so when the pandemic hit, they're like, well, hey, maybe we can use this. And the CEO said the turnaround after they lost 90% of stores, the turnaround actually began in late March. The CEO describes as a purely a goodwill gesture to the unexpectedly household public looking to take up hobbies.
Well, there you go.
They made Fender Play. They're going to make it free for the first 90 days. Well, they hit that number in, I believe it was a day.
Wow.
And so they're actually 2020 was going to be a record year for them, where they're actually going to end up making more than they did in 2019.
Goodness, that's awesome.
And fascinating. So yeah, they hit their mark the very first day. They reached 500,000 signups the first week and settled at about 930,000 subscribers by June. So
yeah. Hey, Sterling Bates
it's
in
really
the house
cool.
too.
It's
What's up,
something they didn't
Sterling?
plan on, you know?
Hey, Sean, now's the time to actually trade up to an actual fender and get rid of that first play Walmart one that you've had for a while, right?
Well, I only
I
have
mean, you
two
got to
strings,
support the team. Jose, what's going on? We got some good comments in there. I see.
Yeah, we have Liz. We have a fan of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. She just got a
Nice.
ukulele, so well, we know
Yeah,
what
you
the
can
neighbor's
totally
gonna
play
listen to.
Margaritaville on the ukulele. Totally, we want to
Right.
hear that. Excellent. And
Sterling Bates
Sterling
says-
Bates, welcome, Sterling. Good to see you. Sorry, I cut you off, Jose. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's okay.
All right, moving right along here. Let's just go for the next slide. And this is all about some French fry love. So when I read this, Sean, I was like, okay, so they're selling French fries, but they're giving away potatoes. And I was like,
Right.
it's novel, but if you think about it, they really did a favor for these local potato growers. So Burger
Yes.
King basically handed out bags of potatoes to help French farmers, to support these potato farmers that were struggling to sell crops that would have normally been sold to restaurants during the pandemic. Burger King in France purchased an extra 200,000 kilograms of potatoes and started handing them out to customers on February 2nd. So anybody who came through the drive-through would receive a 1 kilogram bag of raw potatoes, and the customers were like puzzled about what to do with the potatoes that weren't served up as French fries. They actually gave them a Parisian recipe book too, and it was done by the agency Buzzman. So super interesting. I mean, and if you think about it, we heard a lot of stories last year of vegetables that were left to rot in the field because there was just nothing to do with them. So that's a really novel way to jump on something that needed to happen and still make use of something that would have gone to waste, right?
You know what else I like about it too, Lee? It's an example of companies just doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
And sure, they've spun it into something really of value for them PR wise and so on and so forth. But there's always an opportunity to depending on culture and mission and vision, but just to do the right thing from time to time. And it's useful, and you can utilize it for something for yourself, right?
Awesome stuff.
Now, what would have been really funny is if they said, "Well, look, this is a cost-cutting measure. We let go all of our French fryers, so instead
we're
of
just
giving
giving you
fries-
raw potatoes. Make them yourself. Jeez. Goodness gracious. Have you ever actually tried to make homemade French fries? I actually mastered it at one point in time with my deep fryer, but they were so good I had to stop making them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anytime you say deep fryer,
Yeah, man. I love my deep fryer, but my deep fryer and I had to break up, unfortunately.
it comes with cholesterol medicine. too.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Tell us a little about Crybaby Cry.
Okay. This I just thought was fascinating, right? Telling mental health in our poor teacher community. I mean, do you think there's going to be any happier people come the last day of school this calendar year?
Yeah. I mean, it's challenging too because like my awesome daughter-in-law Kaylee, she is a teacher in Central Florida, and she's having to teach both online and in person. So she has to manage a whole group of people that are on Teams or Zoom, and manage the classroom that's there. It's definitely stressful.
Well, stressful is the key word, right? So
Right.
an elementary school teacher in New York created the Scream line, and it literally was for nothing else but for a teacher to call in and they could scream into the phone, and they could get a recording of their voice at the same time.
Wow.
I just thought it was fun. I thought it was brilliant, and again, I thought it was very telling. Obviously, that people
It's
just need
like
a
the
break.
venting pillow. Didn't we cover a venting pillow one time that you could buy this pillow and basically scream into it? Or am I
Yes.
think even Always
Yes.
Sunny episode, I think.
But Lee, too, like, we've all read about companies that have like these, sleeping nap pods and calming rooms. I mean, it really is an opportunity and a need that, in any given day, anyone in an 8-hour workday, they just need a break.
Yeah.
Right? And I wish there was a bigger investment in making that more normal, and maybe we will, especially after this pandemic. But
I think that they should partner with partner with, I'm trying to think of the guy who mixes all the Disney music together and makes a melodic tunes. They should actually make a beat melody out of the screams just to have something different. I'm gonna fade to Jose. Jose, it looks like we're getting a lot of take on this one. What do we got?
Yeah, Rebecca says, are parents allowed to use this?
Rebecca, you have our permission to use this thing, and also the screen pillow too, if you need to do that. That's awesome. Really.
Hey, we'll put up your cell phone number at the end so people.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I like that Diana said that the phone line was popular on our guest relations page. Yeah, because sometimes you have calls with guests and you try really hard to please them, but there's 2% of guests that can't be pleased. So having a little call just to vent is probably a good idea, right? All right, Jose, thanks for the update there. By the way, Jose, you're looking really good next to the chat right there. I love that scene that I put together. So hey, and,
yeah, it's cool.
show me your you guys, Jose. We just noticed this anomaly in Jose's glasses with the ring lights that he has. Show us your ring light anomaly. He's got like googly eyes there. That's awesome.
He's kind of like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay, next one up. Old people are cool, you guys. Goodness gracious. Cool. And this is amazing. I love this because people are finally getting it, right? Millennials aren't the only deal out there, right? These boomers are getting really good at social media, and actually companies are relying on them to be what they're calling grandfluencers. So it wasn't the usual aspirational 20-something with perfect home decor and massive following that Aura Frame's most successful partnership was. It was actually with a 65-year-old woman named Charlotte Simpson, a retired guidance counselor. Her work accounted for their best performing ads in 2020. So they bringing nearly 5 times more conversions than any influencer ad ever. So I just found that really interesting that from Facebook to YouTube to TikTok, they've seen the increase in boomers and Gen X influencers in social media platforms. So these grannies are out there making some TikToks. And Liz, I know you're a big TikToker out there. So if you've ever seen any of these funny ones, make sure that you send us some of those. But Sean, what else? Tell me a little bit. What else caught your eye about this?
Well, one of the things that the article talked about. I'm not sure of the company Aura Frames, AURA, Aura Frames, but what they said, I think they're home decor. What they said is that the 65-year-old retired guidance counselor, traveling Black Widow, the ad that they created with her versus a 20-something Instagrammer.
Yep.
The ad with the older woman performed five times more conversions.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
6 times more engagement than any ad creative. Yeah.
This reminds me, I worked with this lovely lady named Pat when I worked at Disney Cruise Line, and Pat was like the first person to kind of adopt social media in that age bracket, and Pat's on fire. She's got a bunch of followers, and she posts funny, interesting stuff about her life, and it's really interesting. So I can see why this is becoming a trend. You know?
But you know, like so I sit here and I think about my dad, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess my dad could be a grandfluencer for non-smart flip phones.
Yeah.
And like cans of cream corn. So I'm not sure my dad could really be all
right, looks like we got some good comments, so I'm going to send it back to Jose here. Looks like we got some good dialogue on this one, Jose. What do we got?
Yeah. Program says, yes, old dudes rock.
You are definitely not one of them, Paulie. I know you're all gray now, but you're still a Gen Xer to me, buddy.
Yeah. Dianosaur says, kids on TikTok are making fun of millennials for their skinny jeans and side parts. Well, I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know about that.
That's interesting.
I just love how the making fun just continues to scroll up.
Right. What else we got? One more from Nancy Deborah. What do we got there?
Yeah, Nancy says ageism is one of the areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion that is overlooked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, this is good to see, and I hope we definitely see more of this. All right, moving right along here. Let's go to masking our needs for roads. Looks good.
I mean, I would love to see in the chat people just do a quick thumbs up or thumbs down or whatnot. If you've thought about all these masks and where they're going to go, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a really interesting company, and I've continued to see a lot of content from them called 4Ocean. It's the number 4 in ocean.
Yep.
And there's two guys that went to, I think, FAU in Florida, and in 2017 they created efforts. They are a for-profit company to clean up ocean garbage, right?
Yep.
And so I've been seeing these, and we've all started to see masks as litter, right? At Publix and Target and wherever. What
Everywhere.
the hell is going to happen with them all? There was a scientific study and a group out of Melbourne, Australia. They actually have found a way to utilize recycled masks as part of a concrete, they call it recycled concrete aggregate, RCA.
Okay.
So they're putting the masks, because I think most of them basically are plastic. And so they're putting them into this formula of concrete chunks and such. And it actually makes the concrete stronger, last longer, and makes
Perfect.
it help to absorb rain and stuff in a better way.
That's awesome. Hey, did you put a link to this on the website? Because I'm sure some of us have excess amount of these things that we just throw in our car. Not me, of course. But I was thinking, do you put them in with the paper? Do you put them in with the plastic? I mean, where do you recycle these? This is a perfect idea.
I did not see. Okay, so what can we do? Can we put them someplace? I'm not sure if it's just they're going to recycling or garbage centers, and they figure out a way how to pull them out of garbage.
Oh,
and actually, that's a brilliant idea of making some kind of a collection box for these masks.
Yeah, and that'll be a great day when we can just throw them all away and only wear them at hospitals and stuff.
Right.
All right, Jose. Anything? Anybody chatting it up over there?
Yeah, Nancy Deborah says, "I hope New Jersey using them for filling potholes."
Does New Jersey have a pothole problem? I didn't know about that.
Well, we gotta see that.
The Northeast and New England, yes, potholes in the winter, absolutely.
Also, Polyprogram says, "Love the mask repurposing idea. Reminds me of sneaker shoes companies recycling into playground or gymnasium floors."
That was a great repurposing of those too. Good one, Paulie. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we have up next. All right, so Sean, I never get sick of billboards, and these memes and stuff go around my emails from various people, and I love them, and I love seeing them every time. And Gert, I don't know if you're out there, Gert, but thank you very much for sending us this. Gert sent us this thing about some of these billboards that really deserve an award. Another thing, you and I, Sean, come from the marketing world, so of course we see this great creative all the time in just our day-to-day, right? But
right.
Some of these just from other countries, it seems like they probably don't have the regulations that we do, because some of them are super animated, and I'm not quite sure if it would work in the U.S. And Paulie, you're in the advertising business too, so you probably know the answer to this. But some of them are just super cool. So here's one from India, an India-based company with a creative way to make milk cool. And the ad was, Anando milk will make you strong enough to move a building. And so they're actually moving the chunk of the building. Super cool looking. The next one, oh yeah, I love this one. Let me just get to the page here. This one is from, sorry, my page is sticking together. This one is from Colostrum Naturals. So they just basically place the billboard in a perfect place for the sunlight to shine through, and it changes the effect of the billboard depending on when you're driving through it. So their product is actually all natural, and they couldn't ask for a better demonstration of hair color that looks natural using the natural backdrop. So super cool there. Oh, this one, classic. This is for the Calgary International Film Festival, and the ad is like showing faces of different people sobbing using their impressive 3D effect. Basically, only the best films make it. That's funny.
Lee, that one's also for you, knowing that winter's going to continue for another 3 months.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Crybaby.
I watched Groundhog Day. I don't remember it saying that. And this one, hilarious, kind of creepy at the same time. This is from a restaurant called Old Timer. They found a way to ensure that no one ever misses their exit for a restaurant. So that's interesting. This one I've seen a couple times before. Even though liquid paper isn't really a thing anymore, it's still super cool.
That.
And we can't do this in the States probably, but this is a great way to kind of show off a product. And this one reminds me of like the old novelty cups that are glasses that you used to be able to buy. But this is Calvin Klein basically showcasing an outer product, and then when it rains, it showcases the lingerie below. So really, really interesting way to showcase the realm of their product line, right? And then the next one is, now, Sean, I love this one because I wish that my former employer, Disney, would do more of this, because every time they build an attraction or something, they have these ugly cranes that are all around. And wouldn't it be cool to see, like, Stitch holding up the crane or something like that, And I know they've done a couple of things like that before, but this is from Powerhouse Gym. They need to constantly renovate to come up with new advertising strategies to keep up the pace. So this started back in Michigan and basically went from there.
You know what else would be interesting?
What?
Totally brainstorming. So like you were saying about a company leveraging the opportunities, what if Marvel literally just entered into contracts with city building construction companies, and every time that a building is being built, they're putting like Marvel superheroes on those buildings, kind of like this, right?
Yeah, and like that would be like the selfie place extraordinaire. Everybody would want a selfie in front of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have Marvel characters at one of the Disney offices in Southern California, and I had to go into the session I was doing early just to make sure I got all my pictures with them to send them back to the office. All right, Jose, we're going to cut to you. What's going on? What are people talking about?
Diana says, it's nice use of negative space. I think one time I saw a drive-through museum with paintings blown up on huge billboards.
Nice.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah. Polly says, some of the video boards take messaging and action to the next level. Check out the recent Times Square feeds. DS did this with Captain Marvel release.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was also really, really cool. Awesome.
Cool.
All right, couple more
Sean,
here.
You're getting one here. Sorry.
Go ahead, Jose. Sorry about that.
Sean, you have one. Then Sun5 says, Sean, this is brilliant. Let's sell that idea.
Thank you, Trisha Henson. Appreciate that.
Now, if you have an idea, this billboard will showcase that with a little motion sensor for the economists. So basically, when people would walk under this, it lit up the stuff. Also, why not make the billboard a selfie board? Because then you get everybody doing your advertising for you, right? It's like the selfie walls that should be up in every place.
Totally. And you know what? When we get our own space together, we're gonna buy that cheap recycled from The Economist, and that's going to be in our office.
Yeah, nice. Let's do that. Unless John Stamos buys it first.
That's right.
All right. Tell us about the Camry move to Toyota Town.
So Toyota is building a town literally in Japan, in and around. And it's just fascinating to me because I'll be totally honest. I don't completely understand why, right? And we can probably all sit here and start thinking, well, this and that. But I don't know why an auto manufacturer would literally create a 175-acre town.
Huh.
But they are going to start the allowing in about 360 inventors, senior citizens, families with young children to live in the space, which is basically tricked out with a whole lot of different technology.
Love it.
Right? Robotics, there's smart homes using AI. What's interesting?
It sounds like another thing that another idol of ours tried to make in the '60s, but it turned into a theme park instead.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that called again? Experimental prototype something?
Every person comes out.
Yeah, Dinosaur said it. Yeah. Total Epcot.
You go.
I've always wanted to see the actual dream that Walt dreamed of Epcot come to life somewhere, right? And originally, Celebration in Florida was the kind of the blueprints for that, but the way that Walt had it, designed was just really remarkable for the time frame. So it's nice to see this kind of city planning going on.
Yep. No, it's interesting. I did not realize, but in 2014, Panasonic had opened a city in Japan as well. It is still partially under construction. So 2014 expected to complete in 2022 with 2,000 people currently there now. Anyway,
Wow.
it's just interesting. I mean, I know
No, I love it.
Toyota and a lot of these companies, maybe it's just a giant research center, right? It's the ultimate focus group.
Yeah. And actually, Sean, I was looking at some other stuff on Trend Hunter, and I saw that another company is actually building an undersea one. Not an undersea, an oversea
really?
one. So they're building a floating city somewhere in the Caribbean. It looks expensive, but it's like, again, like the living seas come true, or horizons come true. I can't get over it. I want horizons to come true all across the board. So.
Didn't we see that movie, though, with Kevin Costner? It didn't work out too well for him. Not only was
I did
it,
not see that movie. I did not see it. All right, going back to Jose. Jose, what are people talking about?
There's a discussion here. So Sterling Bates says Japanese culture, when rated on several culture measures, rated higher than the U.S. on both long-term thinking and on social cohesion.
Wow, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, Diana agrees. Japan in general has a lot of great practices that keep the city clean and as safe as a whole. Truly admirable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you, Jose. We will send you back there, and we'll move on to the Old Spice Hairtopia. That's all you, Sean.
I mean, this couldn't be a worse fit for me, right? To be talking about.
That's funny because you know this
honest.
morning when I was looking at it, you didn't put a name by it, and I automatically assigned it to your name, and then I was like, oh wait.
I think I just got sad. What happened? So basically, Old Spice they created a pop-up shop, right? And the article is just littered with like all these different phrases. While young men have gotten used to the wacky approach hair care brands used to woo the brotherhood, Old Spice is trying a new tactic to win them over.
I love it.
So they've created this barbershop experience themed to Old Spice. And actually, it's not just a pop-up. It's meant to they've signed a lease on the space, so it's meant to be there for a certain period of time. It is in Ohio. One of the things is they will bring in celebrity barbers. They'll have a celebrity barber residency program. So they'll have clients that include actors, athletes, musicians. It has a fully functioning content studio as well.
Wow. I kind of want to see the Old Spice guy in the shower thing, though. Is he going to be in the shower so we can talk to him?
Yes, right.
Or am I dating myself? That's like 2010. Sorry, that's been a while. Don't you remember that when he was like that was like the biggest social media thing of the early 2010s? It was he would tweet back to you from the shower.
Up guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's awesome. Okay, so here I want to throw this out to the audience. So I want to hear your bro words. So I'm just looking at Polyprogram because we'll always refer to each other as like Brocephus and Brotato Chip and all that kind of stuff. So throw out some bro isms out there, you guys. Let's hear yours. Sean, you have any?
Oh my gosh, no, I don't. I'm trying to think of
bromance. I mean, you were talking about you sent me flowers. Remember, you sent me flowers on LinkedIn.
Bromance. That's right. Yep.
Bromeo. I love it, Diane. That's awesome. Yeah, let's hear some more. I need to stock up my list though because it's all come back to Brocephus. As a matter of fact, my phone knows how to spell Brocephus, so anytime I write bro, it just comes out Brocephus. So that's what I say all the time. All right, Jose, what else do we have in there?
Prometheus, Abroha, hi.
Oh, Broha. Good one. Hi and goodbye. I love it, Polly. That's awesome. Oh, Prometheus. That's great. Yeah, put them all down. We're gonna store those for later, Sean, so we actually have good terms for us. Thank you, Jose.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to this is awesome. You know, I miss Alex Trebek already, and the fact that his son Matthew didn't think that his father's wardrobe was appropriate for him because he didn't wear those kind of suits. So he decided instead he was going to donate them all to the Doe Fund program in New York. He donated them in mid-January, and basically. He loved the idea of guys getting a second chance to go on interviews and feel presentable in his dad's clothes. So most of the suits and shirts in Alex Trebek's wardrobe were distributed to men seeking employment, and the bulk of neckties would be handed out to program participants when they start new jobs. That the Doe Fund helped them get. So the nonprofit, the Doe Funds, was started in 1985, provides housing and job counseling and training and work opportunities for about 800 men with histories of homelessness, substance abuse, and incarceration. So what a great thing that they've done for them. And I'm just wondering, do they make them ask a question before they give them the suit or something? Crazy stuff. What else?
Well,
what else caught your eye about this, Sean?
I love. Can you imagine how some of these men would feel, right? Number one, trying to turn their life around, right? Coming out of being incarcerated.
Yeah.
But knowing that they're walking into an interview with wearing a suit that Alex Trebek
wore. That's like instant confidence, man.
Right?
I love it.
And honestly, I think this could be a huge nonprofit in and of itself. And partnering with other high-end, men's clothing retailers, women as well. It doesn't just have to be men, but I think there's something there about that last piece of confidence of, I really want to get a job. I need one, and feeling good about what they're wearing.
Yeah.
I love it.
A great legacy for Alex too, right? Super cool.
Oh, totally.
Super cool.
There was actually, I did see something else posted about this. And the crazy thing is some people were poking holes in it, saying, oh, that's all they're going to give is his suits. His estate was worth millions or all this stuff. And I'm like, come on, people.
Yeah, I'm sure those suits weren't cheap either. Come on.
Right. It's a great gesture. It serves a purpose. And I don't know. It was just great. I loved it.
Yeah, nice.
Again, do the right thing, right? Do the right thing.
Awesome. Jose, what it looks like we have a couple comments about this.
Yeah. Nancy Deborah says, this is pure feel good. Lee's got a new hashtag here, tied to success.
Love that.
Like dress for success as well.
Nice.
Mark says, wait, people wear suits to interviews. I've had in Florida too long.
That's hilarious, Mark. I don't wear suits or coats anymore. So when it's a special occasion where I wear a suit, and for Halloween this year, for my Halloween DJ broadcast, I have a kind of a smoking jacket kind of thing, and everyone's like, well, he has to dress up in a costume as a suit because it's basically the only time I wear a suit. So,
and Lee, let's be honest, you're probably not even wearing pants right now.
Probably not. Okay, so it's Zoom, you guys. Come on. And the funny part about when I do wear suits, when I actually go into my closet and get out a suit coat, I usually find if I look in the pocket, there's either the wedding pamphlet or the funeral pamphlet. The last time that I wore that suit. I just don't seem to wear them anymore, right? All right.
No.
Next up, the scooter invasion. And before you start, Sean, I know that there's probably a lot of opinions about scooters out there. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Some people don't like them on a Friday night in downtown Orlando after people have been drinking, that kind of thing. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So it's the continuation of AI, right? Penetrating everything. And there's a company that is building technology. Let's see, Swedish operator Voi. They have 6 million registered scooters across 50 European cities. 6 million registered scooters.
Wow.
This is one company. But there's this company that is developing AI for scooters, much the way that Elon Musk and Tesla can just all of a sudden put functionality into your car, right, overnight.
Right.
They can put functionality into the scooters by what it recognizes through a camera. So if it sees certain objects or a certain distance, it can slow down. If it sees a person, it can stop. What's fascinating?
It's basically like a governor to make sure that you don't actually hurt somebody. Hopefully.
Totally.
Yeah.
So there was a study. Problem became so severe in countries like Singapore, France, and Spain. They banned scooters on pedestrian walkways. But there was a study, 100 riders surveyed at an emergency room in Washington found that nearly 3 in 5 were injured while riding on a sidewalk, even in places where it was prohibited. And I had heard that. I mean, there's tons of injuries, right? They look super fun. I totally want to do it. I just haven't done it yet. But
Now, do you think that if they actually had to have this AI technology when the big Segway release was back in the 90s, that the Segway would have done a little bit better? Because the Segway definitely didn't have this technology, and you could easily run into something and take your head off in the whole thing. And now it's just haunted Segway tours now.
Totally. Well, and they're different to ride too, right?
Yeah.
Segway's up higher.
I don't know. Did you ever actually get on a Segway? They were kind of cool. I wish they hadn't taken off, but you look kind of ridiculous on it, pretty much. I think that's what it was, a fashionable thing, right?
Yeah.
People seem to look much cooler in scooters. It's got that whole European kind of feel, so everybody feels kind of cool on a scooter. But a Segway, I'm not quite sure you could feel cool on a Segway.
I agree.
Okay, moving on here. Looks like we're good on time. Okay, you guys. This one is amazing. Some of you may have seen this already. It really dominated Twitter, I believe, last week. But this is, we say part fascinating. It's one part fascinating and 3 parts creepy, right? So this is a company called Deep Nostalgia, a new service from the genealogy site MyHeritage. They will actually use AI, an AI technique called deep learning, to basically make old family photos come to life. And they launched it in late February, and again, it's totally dominated on Twitter. It is majorly creepy, but also majorly cool. So we are going to show you some of these right now. And now, remember, go ahead, Sean, sorry.
Before you show it, I want everyone to think about, would you, because I asked my wife this question, would you want to take a picture, a family picture, and run it through this AI? So I just want everyone to think about that when you show the videos.
All right, here we go. We are going to fade to the first one here. Wow. Again, an old picture from probably the 20s or 30s.
It literally is Harry Potter, the photos in the Harry Potter series. And these are all still photos. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. This lady is definitely looking into my soul. Like I'm not going to do anything wrong because I know she's waiting on the other side with a ruler. Like, she reminds me of a school teacher I had, and she's going to check me, right? Wow. Super cool, though. It's hard to stop watching. I know it seems creepy, but it's just like, wow, it's just so realistic.
So the article mentions, Lee, 3 years ago, artificially producing a 15-second face swap took several hours on a powerful desktop computer, and now the same effect can be done. Someone asked, "Is it free?" It can be done for free with a mobile phone, right? Well, they're comparing this to apps like Snapchat.
Wow. And Polyprogram asks if it's one photo. Hey, Josh is here. What's up, Josh? Yeah, it's just one photo, right? And they bring it to life like crazy. I think, Sean, can I give you an answer to your question yet?
Yes. Yep.
So I think that if I didn't know the person, like, I still think it'd probably be creepy to animate my grandmother because I knew her, right? And we have some movie footage of my grandmother. But if it was my great-grandmother, for example, and I never knew her or saw her, or my great-great-grandmother, I don't know. I think I'd be up for that. I think that'd be kind of cool because I always still also want to know the stories. That's the next thing too. Is that, I mean, are we going to be able to have animated stories and talks with voiceover and stuff? Wouldn't that be cool? Goodness.
Well, and there is, the wine company, 19 Crimes, right? They've had augmented on their labels for a couple years now.
Oh, so cool. Has anybody out there used this? Does anybody belong to MyHeritage? I know that, what's the other, Ancestry.com, I've spent a lot of time on there, and I actually had a subscription for a year. But this seems like a really great product differentiator, number one, right? Ancestry may not be offering this yet. And Diana Store said something about the museum industry. So I'm gonna pass it back to Jose. Oh, actually, sorry, I've got that. There she is again. Look out. All right, Jose, what it looks like we got some good chatter about this in the chat box.
Yeah, right. So Polly was asking if it's just with one picture. You said it before. Josh seems like he's into it, apparently. He likes a lot of the topic. Mark says it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it
And
really
Diana
is.
says that this could be amazing for the museum industry. And it kind of reminds me to Harry Potter and the big pictures that they
Yeah,
had.
totally.
So yeah, it might be going there. Doug says, "Hey, Doug from Canada says I see a photo of my late grandfather and brings me to tears. This animation would do me
Yeah,
in."
absolutely, Doug. Totally.
Right, remembering.
And you know the power of this, right? Because yes, we're all saying Harry Potter and oh, you couldn't do this before. The thing that is just blowing me away again is we can all do this. Like,
Yeah.
right? Take
Yeah,
a
and
picture,
again,
put
it's
it on
it's
this
going to be
website.
attainable to us, right?
Yes,
So
attainable.
when Tupac busted
Yeah.
the stage after he'd been dead for 15 years in a hologram format, that was like mind blowing stuff. But pretty soon, we're all going to be able to have a Jedi Council with our ancestors.
Yes.
And you know what I'm talking about? All the Jedi sitting around in holograms. That's going to be a
Yes.
cool thing. It's going to totally change the Zoom thing once they do a hologram where we can actually sit and visit in our
Right.
living rooms, kind of stuff, right?
And then
yeah,
for a
Josh
small
says
fee-
yes.
For a small fee, you'll be able to pay and have Yoda sit in on your family Jedi.
Come
Council.
on, man. Who wouldn't do that? I'm totally in. Totally in. Okay, so Sean, this is another great one from Barry. By the way, Barry, if you're out there, thank you so much for all the input.
Yeah.
And thank you, Diana, for sending in input. And thank you, Gert, for sending input. We really appreciate that. Anytime you guys see something out there that catches your eye, it could be new, it could be old. It's just something that inspires you, something innovative, anything like that. Please forward it on to brainstorminabox@gmail.com. Right? That's
it.
email
Yep.
address, and we love it. We're lovers of stuff anyway, so we're constantly looking at Trend Hunter and Springwise and places like that. But if you see something come through, by all means, send it forward.
Yep.
All right, more eating in a bubble. This is a great trend. It keeps going and going.
It keeps going, and that's why. And again, thanks to Barry for sending it. That's why we put it in. It just continues to go. So it's a Park City, Utah company, and from the last couple of months where we saw some, one was like I think an inflatable bubble. Then we've seen a clear plastic one that was in Chicago. Then we saw repurposed and tricked out gondolas. And now we see this. This is the best one I think we've seen by far because it is purposely built and created and tricked out with technology as a luxury private dining experience. It
Wow.
has variable mood lighting. It can seat up to 4. There's an independent sound system. Fresh air recirculation, has infrared heating.
I love it.
So the point being, here's what I'm wondering, Lee and Jose, is this going to turn into like a maybe not a luxury trend, but a FOMO, fear of missing out kind of trend?
Yeah,
right?
you got to go experience it. Right.
Only so many people can do it, and the thing is, everyone sees you doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing with our narcissistic traits, but I don't know. There's something interesting happening here about these luxury private experiences that everyone can see and are attainable too, right? It's not like it's $5,000. It's a couple hundred or a few $100 to do it.
Right, but I'm also thinking about Doug, who is in the audience today in Canada. I'm in Canada, and I want one for my backyard. I think it'd be great. I asked Sarah the other night. I was like, "Hey, if we move to a house, I really want to create an outdoor grilling experience because the Canadians up here make fun of me because I'll be out there in the snow trying to grill, and it's really not from a physics standpoint, it's really hard to do. But I'm from Florida, so I'm gonna grill, right? So I've asked her, I want to build this kind of a shelter to where I can grill outside and hang out outside. And she looks at me like I'm crazy, but this could be the answer, just to have a nice dinner out in the snow.
Hey, Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, about that. Mark says, how about a heated bubble for homeless?
Oh,
that would be
nice.
something.
I like it.
That is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really nice. Really great.
Huh. I had not thought about that.
Yeah,
Who doesn't grill in
the
snow?
Thank you, Mark. Right? Mark, my first experience in doing that was a trip that my family and I took to Tennessee in the wintertime, and I didn't know about the physics of the whole thing, and I tried to actually do it with charcoal, and that was a failed experiment, and I ended up actually broiling it. So, BBQ, I love it.
Just thought of
Two
that.
Canadians don't need a bubble to grill, Lee.
That's awesome. All right. All right. Well, that looks like it just about wraps it up here. We appreciate you. Actually, no, we have one more. Sorry, my bad.
Yep, one more.
So this is a new mail truck. Thank you again, Barry. You sent this one in too. Thank you. The U.S. Postal Service has revealed its new mail truck after a years-long competition. The truck will be built by Wisconsin-based defense contractor Oshkosh, but won't hit the road till 2023. Currently, the USPS has been looking to replace their existing mail truck for years now. They started taking solicitations back in 2015, and the ones that are currently on the road apparently are woefully out of date. They don't even have air conditioning, and they're also a major fire risk. So, yay! About time we change them.
All delivering
I
our
love the
mail.
futuristic look of these too. They remind me of the mail trucks in Ready Player One, the drone spitters.
Oh, yes, they do.
And it's only a matter of time before they are drone spitters, right? So
Right.
I live my mail route in Florida is technically on a rural route. So people use their own cars that have the steering wheel on the other side to deliver our mail. So drones are probably coming soon to an area like that.
Really interesting.
Interesting. Any other comments about this one, Sean?
I think we found out why all of our mail is backed up.
Yeah, well,
The
they're
trucks,
trying
the
to
current
future-proof
trucks,
us, dude.
right? Our fire hazards and all the other problems with the current trucks, right? So,
Nice. All right,
but I do have to say, Lee.
Say it
like,
one more time.
I do have to say, if that design is a defense contractor's design, I don't know that I want them making tanks, because that does not look like the toughest, coolest tank that I've ever seen.
That's all right, man. Let it go to the Segway designers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for today. We are so grateful that you guys came out today. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate your joining us. We appreciate your bringing friends. Jose, it was really great having you here. And, of course, it's Beer 30 in Moonster, so, of course, you should go have a beer. Sean, how about you, man? Any parting words of wisdom from you?
Please enjoy, arguably, the best holiday of the year, which is St. Patrick's Day on the 17th.
Hey, you can stock up on those
time.
little cans, but I think you're going to need 100-pack of those to really have a good time.
Exactly. No, but and honestly, thanks everyone for continuing to tune in and watch us. We love doing this. It's great having Jose with us too. And if we would ask you to do one thing beyond sending us interesting stuff, we'd love to get it. Please, I think we're going to say, Lee, please follow, subscribe to our YouTube
I'm actually
channel.
just going to fade to that page right now. Hey, there we are.
We need to get 100 subscribers, because that will allow us to then have a customized YouTube URL. Right now it's a mess.
And then we will most likely switch from Twitch to YouTube, but we're not going to do that until we have our 100 followers. So, Jose, if you would put that, awesome, already done in the chat, that would be great. And, Suzette's in the house too. Hey, Suzette, nice to see you. I'll see you in a few minutes, hopefully, because we are doing a session together today, so that'll be fun. And Jose, thank you very much also for putting our LinkedIn stuff in the chat. We want to connect with you. If we're not already connected with you, please make sure you connect with us. You can support us by following this Twitch channel, by definitely following our YouTube channel, and that's where you'll find the recording of this particular show. And of course, always send us whatever you see out there to brainstorminabox.com. And we look forward to next time. Our next date is going to be Friday, April 2nd. Oh, not April Fool's Day. But Sean, are you going to be up for doing a version of Buzz or Bunk? So that used to be my favorite part of Creative Couch back in the day, is showing, because April Fool's is just full of the fake stuff. And then sometimes stuff is real and fake. So let's plan on doing that. So
yes, I love it. But yes, that's what we're going to do. It's brilliant.
Yeah, actually, one time we did that back when I was at Disney. Our good buddy Mark, who's on the call right now, he was a phone a friend. So when people couldn't figure out if it was Buzz or Bunk, they could phone a friend, and he did his best Janice impersonation from the Muppets, and it was phenomenal. Mark does an amazing Muppet, all the Muppets basically. So
awesome.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you all so much again for being here, and we will see you another time.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.